Pass it around.
Look, folks, here's the reality. You know what I mean? Like we can talk about the macro picture and all that stuff. And by the way, these data points such as like non-farm payrolls don't matter. Forget about them immediately. That would be like actual advice. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. Like non-farm payrolls are fake. GDP is fake. The only thing that's really real of the macro data pieces are CPI. But even that is like manipulated lower and lower and lower in a definitional sense, like an objective definitional sense. It gets weaker and weaker. Even Michael Saylor, maybe you've heard of him, he's talked about this. He's like, instead of having like real in person concerts factored into the CPI, you get Netflix concerts factored into the CPI. Like this is like a well-known, concept here. But it's like the thing I want to comment on was what Neetu said about like it may or may not have mattered like who won the election. I would like to disagree with that because the prior regime and the current regime for the next like 3 months, let's call it, um, they're very hostile to this stuff. It's like, look, folks, it's no surprise that like Elizabeth Warren is not going out on stage and like protesting against the Federal Reserve or the war machine. Like it's no surprise that Elizabeth Warren does not care about the Ukrainian boys and girls, like Bobby Kennedy would say, the flower of the Ukrainian youth. Those people are just being slaughtered. And we're sitting on a live stream talking about MicroStrategy, and those people are just being slaughtered. The whole country of Ukraine is being destroyed, and that's being done by America. That's the real. Like, we grow up in a world where we think like our team is the good guys. Growing up is realizing that your team is actually the bad guys, and that's the reason why I think a lot of us are in Bitcoin to like check the state a little bit. But the current regime and former regime, the Biden Harris regime, the Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren regime, is incredibly hostile towards anything crypto related. And I cringe even saying that word. I get it. Don't make eyes at me. I get it. It's weird. But it's so critical towards that whole field. Now with the Trump regime, I think we have something that's much more like pro Bitcoin and crypto and everything else. And Bobby Kennedy and Cynthia Loomis talking about the strategic Bitcoin reserve bill and all of these things. And the little kind of idea I'll sprinkle out there, hypothetically, do people think that like me and someone else with the acronym of JL are not talking? No, we're talking. This is happening. You know what I mean? Like the price of Bitcoin, like simply does not matter. It could be at 200,000 right now, and I'd be like, look at me. I'd be like, look me in the eyes. I'd be like, it doesn't matter. I feel like it just simply does not matter what the price is today. This is like the roaring 20s. That's my case. I could easily be wrong too. I could easily be wrong on any of this stuff.
Well, since you dared to disagree, now it's on. And
Hit 'em.
well, I will say this though. Let's say,